Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Pacific Science Center virtual planetarium. It is so nice to be with you all again. My name is Michael, and I am live at Curiosity Studios at the Pacific Science Center in beautiful, beautiful Seattle. We're really excited to be exploring a lot of astronomy topics today, and I am so excited because of what is going on this morning and tonight and tomorrow morning and kind of all this week, but definitely right now. I really, really want to make sure that you all become really good backyard astronomers so you could explore the shooting stars that are shrieking across the sky right now. As always, if you are joining us, feel free to chat. Use that chat feature on that YouTube link to kind of contact me. If there's something that you see that you want to explore, I am happy to go explore that. If there's some questions that you want to answer, my friend Zita is online. She can help answer those questions with you, or she could pass those questions on to me, and I'm happy to answer those questions. We love questions so much. I actually have some questions for you all. If you don't mind, hey, first of all, give everybody a hello on that chat feature. But also, hey, let us know, who are you watching them with? Are you joined with anybody as you're exploring this virtual planetarium with us? I'm joined with my friend Zita. Is there anybody else watching with you? Go ahead and share that on that chat feature, and then we'll get started about how to become a great backyard astronomer tonight. And with that in mind, I am going to start that virtual planetarium tour right now. So, friends, I am very, very excited because right now, today, this morning, it happened this morning, but like I said, it's going to happen all this week. This is one of the most exciting days to be a backyard astronomer of all year because the Perseid meteor showers are streaking across the sky right now. That is about 40 to 50 shooting stars going across the sky per hour. That is a lot of wishes that you can actually be making in the nighttime sky tonight or tomorrow morning or tomorrow night when it's nice and clear out. And so the beautiful thing is that it doesn't require anything special. You don't need binoculars. You don't need a telescope. You just need your eyeballs and some patience and to go out in a really dark area and to start wishing upon some shooting stars. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight is, hey, when you go stargaze and you look for those shooting stars, what are some other things that you might be able to see tonight with your just, observing the nighttime sky? And who are you going to be sharing that with? And as always, all right, help us out with that question. It's are you sharing this virtual planetarium with someone right now? Just go ahead and let Zita know on that chat feature. We are so grateful that so many of you could join us. So to get ready to be a backyard astronomer, there's a few things that we just need. We are going to need, we're going to need to know what time it is, and we're going to need to know where we are. Right now, we are set up in our virtual planetarium right near Seattle. I think I put it right on where my office is located at Curiosity Studios. And then this is our time. It is 15:34, which means it's 3:34 p.m. in the afternoon. And we look up in the sky and we see a nice, bright sun still high in the sky. So let's go ahead and use our time machine here and start moving the sun. We're going to move the sun, and as it moves through time, it's going to move away from our screen. So let's go ahead and pan over with us. We notice that it's like all of the other stars move from the east to the west. It's got a little friend right next to it. I believe that's Mercury. Let's just zoom in a little. Yeah, that's definitely Mercury. So here's the deal is Mercury is so close to the sun, you're not going to be able to see it. It's too bright. It's too bright. And then the sun starts to set and we get to sunset, which is going to be at 8:30 tonight. Around 8:30. It's actually 8:26. So we needed our time. We needed our locations. We need to know our directions, our never eat soggy waffles, our north, east, south, west. But the other thing that we really need in a nighttime sky is that we need a dark sky. Even though the sun is set, there is no more sun that we can actually see. Do you notice all of the sky glow happening here? It is too bright to actually see the stars. When it's around sunset, there are some bright objects over to the south that we will be able to see that start popping up in the sky. Those aren't stars, those are planets. And so we need to be a little bit more patient and let that sky glow go. And so we're going to have to wait way past sunset. As you move farther and farther away from sunset, the darker and darker the sky will be and more stars will pop up. Let's go ahead and test that theory. We're going to look towards our zenith. We're going to look straight up. And you can already tell, like, one star has already popped up. All right, and I think that, I'm pretty sure that's probably Vega. Let's see if that is actually Vega. Some really bright stars, and the reason why I think it's Vega, oh, no, that wasn't Vega. Oh, wow. Wonder which star that was. Oh, maybe that's Deneb. Okay. Some really bright stars like Vega. Vega is the fourth brightest star in the nighttime sky. And so it can come out when it's really, really bright. But as we get darker, do you see how even more stars pop up? And that's really the trick. We need a really dark sky. Oh, definitely not Deneb. Deneb is right here. Okay. So that's what we need. We need a really, really dark sky. And I'm going to go ahead and take away our atmosphere too. As we look right back south, now Jupiter is really shining. Saturn is really shining. And friends, when you look out south around 9:41 tonight, you're going to see this nice, really bright red objects. You're going to look south. It's going to be in the same line as Jupiter and Saturn. And you're going to think to yourself, hey, that looks like Mars. All right, friends. Sorry, that's not Mars. That's going to be the star Antares. Here's the other thing that we need to be as really great astronomers. Do you remember that sky glow that we got from the sun? Well, here's the thing is humans could cause sky glow too. City lights are really bright up the sky, and with a lot of pollution in the air, that the light from our city streets and from just leaving a light on when we leave a room shines up into the sky, hits that pollution, and makes the sky kind of glow and doesn't make it as dark. You can kind of almost tell the difference if I took that atmosphere back on. You see all of this right here, how bright it is, all from that Seattle skyline just right over the horizon. That is just too bright for sky viewing. So as backyard astronomers, it's really, really important that we go to a really dark place, away from the city lights. Absolutely, you can see the Perseid meteor showers there in Seattle. They will be bright, but you'll see even more shooting stars if you travel outside of the city. Move away from Seattle, move away from Tacoma, move away from Bellevue. You know what? Actually, go ahead and tell us, where are you viewing this virtual planetarium from? Go ahead and share it out. I would love to see all of those various different cities that we have people visiting from. And let us know who you're viewing with. Okay, so let's pretend that we have traveled to a farther and farther place away from the city lights, and things get a lot darker. Now, as I said, the thing that I was excited about the most were the Perseid meteor showers. They happen this time every single year. They happen on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of August. That is when they are at their peak. That's when we see the most shooting stars. They peak this year earlier this morning. And so what I want us to focus on today is how to observe those meteorites and those meteor showers coming across the sky. For that, we're going to have to wait until it's a little bit darker. We're going to have to go to a dark region in our sky. And we're going to have to use our constellations to help point us in the direction we want to go. In order to use our constellations, the big one that we're going to look for are the bright stars. And then we'll use those constellations to find other constellations to find out where the Perseids are. Okay? To do this, we're going to look north. I'm now at 9:44. And I'm going to look to the north sky. But instead of looking for the Big Dipper, what I'm going to look for is over to the east, the northeast. It's going to be, well, go ahead and tell me on chat what you think. Oh, friends from Bellevue or friends from Leavenworth, go ahead and tell me what shape that this looks like in the sky. That's the beautiful thing about constellations is that, you know what, their official shapes, they don't really matter. Whatever shape is important to you and helps you remember where this is in the sky, that's what's important. So friends in Leavenworth, friends in Bellevue, friends in Seattle, friends in Tacoma, what shape does that look like to you? I see some really bright stars, and they kind of make that little zigzag plant. Okay. I see some people are saying that that's like a W, or at least that's what I'm hearing. Some people think it's like an M, like there's a giant M&Ms up in the sky. Some people think it's like a 3. For us, for astronomers, they call it Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia. You know what? It would be helpful if I knew how to spell, friends. That is one of the tricks that a good backyard astronomer really, really needs, is really remember how to spell. Okay, that's Cassiopeia. She is the queen of Ethiopia, a nation in Africa. And she's up in that sky as one of the most, well, she was absolutely beautiful. She was a fantastic queen, but she was a little vain. That's why she's holding up the mirror. The trick with her is I'm not really worried about, hey, does that look like a queen? No, to me, it looks like a big 3 in the sky this time of year. I'm going to use Cassiopeia's lines, and I'm going to look for these 2 bright stars right here as a part of the 3. Oh, it looks like a satellite is moving right across. Okay, I'm going to use these 2 pointer stars, and they are going to move down to where I think the Perseids are really going to be streaking from. So I'm going to use these 2 pointer stars, and I'm going to make my way down to right about there. And the reason why they are called the Perseid meteor showers is for no other reason than they are coming, whoops, that was a wrong click, friends. They are coming from the constellation Perseus. Now, I'm sure you're asking, hey, Michael, why did you look for Cassiopeia if the constellations are in Perseus? And the answer is, do you see how low Perseus is in the sky? And do you see it? You know, that's a really not a bright star. And that's not a bright star. That one is. That one's a really good one. But compared to Capella, I mean, come on. Cassiopeia is a lot brighter and a lot easier to see in the sky, particularly because it's higher up. And so I'm going to use Cassiopeia to point down right past Perseus' head. And it's going to be right about there in the sky that the meteors are going to come from. Now, why are these things even showing up? Why are we having so many shooting stars? Well, the answer comes from, you know what, go ahead and tell me if you had seen these virtual planetariums before. If this is your first time, we welcome you. Thank you. Let us know that this is your first time. If this is another planetarium show that you have attended, go ahead and let Zeta know that. We would love to see those repeat people, because those repeat people have a lot of information that they have to share, including in July. Give us a big thumbs up or a big applause on that chat feature and let us know that you saw the comet Neowise. Neowise was a really bright comet that came out during the month of July. It was the brightest comet that we saw in like the past 20 years, 23 years. The thing is that we can't really see it with the naked eye anymore, and it really has started to lose its tail. It is making its way out in our solar system now. But those tails, they stay behind. Those long tails would be tens of millions of miles across. Those icy, tiny little particles, they stay behind and stay inside the Earth's orbit. Well, back in the early 90s, there was another comet called Swift-Tuttle. And basically, it left its tail behind and all of those tiny little grains of ice. Now that the Earth is making its way past and it is plowing through what used to be a comet's tail, where tiny grain pieces of ice or rice pieces of ice are burning up in our atmosphere and causing those meteor showers, causing things to wish upon. And they are happening in this part of the sky, really kind of close to the border of Perseus. And another constellation, Camelopardalis. I love Camelopardalis, really hard to see. But if you get to a really dark sky, you might be able to see, well, it's not a camel and it's not a leopard. It's a giraffe. There is a giraffe up in the sky, really high north. Its ears are right next to the North Star. It goes right in between the Big Dipper and Cassiopeia. And so the Perseids are going to be coming out of this. Well, there's no other way to say it. It's going to be coming out of the giraffe's butt. Right next to Perseus's head and the giraffe's butt, that's where you're going to see the meteor shower and the shooting stars. So if there is one thing that I want you to do as backyard astronomers, do it tonight or do it tomorrow night, is look for the Perseid meteor showers and make those wish upon a shooting star. All right, backyard astronomers, I got a bit of a secret for you. Here's the thing about the Perseid meteor showers. They are beautiful right now. They are absolutely gorgeous. And one of the reasons why they are gorgeous, particularly this year, is because there is no moon. I'm backtracking time right now, and I'm not seeing any moon. But do you see how low they are in the sky early in the evening, around that 9:45? They're really, really kind of low. In fact, let's keep Perseus up. All right, I'm going to use my search feature as soon as that zoom moves away. Okay, Perseus, let's keep him up. A wonderful constellation. He's the one who's holding on to Medusa's head. Low to the sky, and what we need to do is we just kind of need Perseus to rise higher and higher in the sky. As Perseus moves higher and higher into the sky gets darker and darker and darker. Do you see how much darker it is up high in the sky when it's near the zenith versus when it's near the horizon where we get some city glow and some shining lights there? We want to wait until it's higher in the sky. And one of the beautiful things this year, oh, look at that moon. It is a beautiful moon. And what's great about it is we're not getting a lot of moon glow from it. It is a waning crescent moon. It is almost disappearing. We are almost at a new moon. And so there's not a lot of moon glow that's blocking out the brightness of the stars. Any suggesting spots to see the meteor showers? You know what, friends? I am a big, big fan of the peninsula. I love going to the coast and seeing the stars over the coast. The problem there is that is west from us, and the Perseid meteor showers are going to be to the east. So you'll be accidentally looking at Seattle. So actually, if you go east would probably be the best way to go. You know what? It's the tricky thing about the east is that's where the mountains are. So actually, if you go into the mountains or even past the mountains up, just go right over the pass. Go right over the pass. Snoqualmie is a great place. There's a lake right after the ski resort where you have clear view, no trees. The mountains are nice and low, really in the horizon. If you were really, really ambitious, I think you can make it all the way to Ellsworth. Nice flat plains of Ellsworth. These are all beautiful locations. Just make it a day trip. Here's the thing about being a backyard astronomer. It's not a 5-minute activity. This is going to be a nighttime view you can enjoy, a nighttime show you're going to be enjoying all night long. So be prepared to spend some time out there to make all of these great observations. Or we could be waiting until it's early in the morning. Instead of staying up late, let's wake up early. Astronomers love to do that to really see the bright stars. Right now, this is set at 4 o'clock, and we could even move in a little bit closer. Let's hit the snooze button a little bit. There we go. Let's get to 5 o'clock. Now, we are going to get some sky glow from the sun, but still high in the sky, pointed towards our zenith, right above our heads. It's still a dark sky, and this is a great time to see the meteor showers. And to be honest, I mean, it's that tradition of, hey, you wish upon a star. I'm kind of curious to hear, and I'll hear from Zita. It's if you saw a meteor shower or if you saw a shooting star, what wish would you make tonight? What do you really hope for? If you went out star viewing, go ahead and share with us what's your wish you want to make. And I would love to actually hear about that. I think one wish that I have, I could also use some a little sleep. And then all the support that we get for all of our programs, all of that supports that we get for our programs, that is a big wish that I would have. Anyway, later into the night, let the stars rise. Let them get high into the sky. Wake up early to go see them. That is a great time to see the Perseid meteor showers. Okay, here's another great tip. Move away from farm. Oh, you know what would be great is up in this Snohomish County. Nice flat lands, not a lot of trees, not a lot of mountains to block your view. Snohomish County would be great. Even my friends up in Leavenworth would be great. Bellevue, since you're on the east side, that's great because Seattle is going to be behind you when you actually look there. But I'm going to move back in time. Let's actually just pretend that you are seeing the nighttime sky and you decided to stay up tonight as opposed to wake up early in the morning. Let's set it to 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 o'clock. That way the Perseids are up higher. What else do you need to do sky viewing? All right, so here's some tips. You want a really, really dark sky and you want your night vision to actually be working too. But you also need to be looking around. So one big tip, one big inventory item, grab a red flashlight or a flashlight and you get some red film and you put it over the flashlight. So the only thing that you see are red. That way you are able to navigate things and look around you, but you could still keep your night vision. And it's great to have your night vision. Just all you're going to do is see things in red. You can still see things through the flashlight, but it's not going to affect your night vision so that when you just want to look at the stars, you don't have to regain that night vision. Bring a jacket or a blanket because you're going to be out there for a while. It might get a little cool tonight, even though it's summertime. So bring something warm with you. Grab something that you could sit on like a blanket or a camping chair or just sit on the hood of a car or a park bench or something like that. Because like I said, the longer you're out there, the more of a show you'll actually be able to see. Bring some water. Drink some water. In fact, I need drink some water right now myself, to be honest. And bug spray. There is nothing worse than being outside. I got chewed up last night trying to wait for the Perseid meteor showers. I am scratching my legs and my ankles. I really wish I brought my bug spray. Bring a star finder and bring your science journal so you can record all of the observations that you make. Along with the Perseid meteor showers, of course, I would like for all of you to look to the south. Look to the south for beautiful Jupiter and Saturn. They will be bright. They will be up there before sunset, and you don't need a telescope or binoculars to really, really view them. If you did visit Jupiter a lot later on this week, let's say you can't make the Perseid meteor showers right now. Let's say you had to wait until Friday or Saturday to see them. What is really going to be cool about Jupiter, and if you had a telescope, is Ganymede, the largest moon in our solar system, is going to streak right by Jupiter. And then on Saturday, Io is going to do the same thing. So there's going to be like this really rare thing where you're going to see the shadows of those two moons on the biggest planet in our solar system. And Jupiter will be showing off its giant red spot at the same time. So let's say you can't do the Perseid meteor showers right now. Let's say you did have an access to a telescope. That is something beautiful that you could see Friday night or Saturday night. Friday night just for the shadow from Ganymede. Saturday night for both Ganymede and the moon Io, having their shadows move across that really, really large planet. But for our backyard astronomers without a telescope, there's still a lot to good see. And those are the constellations. So let's go ahead and pop up some constellation lines and share on chat if there's any constellations that you would like to learn more about. Things that you see are just like, wow, that's kind of funny. I would like to learn more. So these are the constellation signs. They're like playing connect the dots up in the sky. And you use your imagination to have these beautiful, beautiful constellation images up in the sky. So right now, Jupiter and Saturn are right inside the constellation Sagittarius, moving away from Copernicus, that goat up in the sky. One of my favorites grouping of stars is going to be right above you in the nighttime sky. It's not one constellation. It's not two constellations. It's three constellations all being connected together from these three really, really bright stars. Deneb on the tail of the swan, Vega on the tip of the harp, lyra, and Altair, right on the beak of the big eagle, right above your head on the zenith. This is called the summer triangle. The summer triangle is fantastic because even when it's really, really bright out, these three bright stars really start to shine in the nighttime sky. And they're really, really special because, well, you can see Deneb, but you're not going to necessarily see all of Cygnus, all of that Northern Cross, not all of that big swan. You're going to be able to see Altair, but do you see how dim all of the other stars of Aquila are? And then, of course, you're going to definitely see Vega. Vega is so, so, so bright. But you're not going to see necessarily all of the stars of the harp. So instead of just using constellations, sometimes we use what we call asterisms. Asterisms are basically any shape that you see in the sky, like the summer triangle. Oh, and then we have some person who's interested in Corona Australis. That is really awesome. And hopefully we could actually zoom over and I might be able to show that to you. So let's hold off on that and I'll be sure to get that right back. That's the summer triangle is fantastic. It's going to be high above in the sky, over towards your zenith, around 10 o'clock. The great thing about it is that it's a giant arrow. If you use this arrow, what you're going to notice is that in a really dark region of the sky, it follows the path of the Milky Way. This really bright group of stars, well, that's your home. That's the Milky Way galaxy. And you use the summer triangle to find Deneb and Altair. And do you see how that swan just kind of flies down that river of the Milky Way? Keep on using Deneb and that bottom part of the triangle all the way to Altair. Follow that path of the Milky Way until you get really close to the horizon, closer to Jupiter and that beautiful constellation Sagittarius, which, yes, technically it is a half man, half horse. It's referred to as an archer. He's holding up a bow and arrow, but most people think of it as a teapot. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. And right where that steam comes out of that teapot, that is the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Right below it, it is going to be really, really hard to see in Seattle or this far north, particularly because it's not that bright, is Corona Australis. Corona Australis basically means the southern crown. That's it. That's it. It is a crown up in the sky, and if there's a southern crown, that means, well, never eat soggy waffles. If we look up north, there might be another crown up in the sky. So there's Virgo the Maiden. There's that comet that I was talking about. At this point, you need some binoculars or a telescope to see it. Okay, there is Bootes, and that means I need to look higher into the sky, closer to our zenith, Corona Borealis. So just like we have the northern lights, there are the southern lights, the Aurora Borealis and the Aurora Australis. There is the northern crown and there is the southern crown, Corona Australis, like my friend said right there, and the Corona Borealis, which is the northern crown. And they both basically just have the same shape up in the sky. They look like giant C's or giant cups, or just like we had with Corona Australis, like a wreath hat or a crown. My favorite thing was the Aborigines down in Australia. They could also see the northern crown, but they didn't call it the northern crown. They called it the boomerang. The reason why they called it the boomerang is because it has that nice boomerang shape. And it looks like as time moves by and it moves across the sky, it looks like it twirls like a boomerang. And so that's another good example of constellations. The shapes don't matter. What matters is how the shapes are important to you. All right, we got a friend who's asking a fantastic question. What is the Milky Way? That's a fantastic question. A Milky Way is a fantastic candy bar. It has chocolate, it has caramel, it has nougat. And if you are a backyard astronomer, it is a great snack to eat while you're making observations of the nighttime sky. So bring some water, and And that is what a Milky Way is. In terms of being a backyard astronomer, the Milky Way is your home galaxy. The Earth, the Moon, and all of the planets go around. Well, the Moon goes around the Earth, and the Moon and the Earth, the Moon, and all the planets go around our Sun. But our Sun and every single bright star you see in the nighttime sky all belong to a big galaxy, a group of stars, and they are all circling around what is in the middle of our galaxy, a black hole. And so every star these are just basically our neighborhood. It's our neighborhood. It's our city. The Milky Way is the city of stars that we all live in. There's one exception, and some backyard astronomers, if you go out way out in the country, maybe up to Mount Rainier or Mount Baker and get a really, really dark sky, you could see something else with your naked eye. And for that, we're going to need to know the story of Perseus. Okay, so we will return to Perseus, and we've returned to Camelopardalis. We're back at the northeast part of the sky. We're looking closer to the zenith than the horizon. And we really need to understand the story of Cassiopeia and her husband Cephas. Cephas was the king of Ethiopia, this big empire in Africa. Here's the thing. Cassiopeia, his wife, the queen, she was really, really vain. Do you see that mirror that she's holding onto? She loved looking at herself. And that's because she thought she was so beautiful. She thought she was more beautiful than the forest and the trees in the forest. She thought she was more beautiful than the mountains that we see out west and we see out east. She thought she was more beautiful than all of the fish in the sea. And that made one of the Greek gods a little bit upset, the god of the seas. And so he brought forth a drought. No more rain in the empire of Ethiopia. And if there's no rain, there's no food for the people to eat. There's no farm for things to survive. So Cepheus, this great king, was really worried about his people. And he made a deal. Basically, what he would do in order to save his people, he would sacrifice his daughter, Princess Andromeda. That's the sacrifice that a good king decided to make to save his empire and his kingdom. So what they did with Princess Andromeda is they chained her up to these cliffs right next to the sea, where a giant sea monster named Cetus. Let's see if we can find Cetus. He's a little bit lower. Oh, you see big Cetus right below the two fish of Pisces, right below Mars. Do you see that giant sea monster? Cetus was going to rise up out of the sea and just take her away into the sea, Princess Andromeda, until our hero Perseus comes around and actually he uses Medusa's head. And Medusa, she was so ugly. She was so ugly, if you looked at her, you turned into stone. And so that's what ended up happening. What happens when the sea monster looked at Medusa? The sea monster turned into stone and sank right into the bottom of the ocean. And so Perseus freed Princess Andromeda. And together with Pegasus, they flew across the sky and the two fell in love. What we end up having is this object right about there. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. It's a wedding present between Perseus and Princess Andromeda. This little object to the naked eye, it just kind of looks like a fuzzy star. But it's not a star. It's the Andromeda Galaxy. It's the city right next door, the city of stars right next door. Now, here's the really cool thing about the Milky Way and all the stars. They are all of the Milky Way. They are all circling around a big, massive black hole. Circling around and circling around, just like the Earth goes around the sun. But as they are doing it, they are getting closer and closer and closer to the Andromeda Galaxy. So if you keep on being a backyard astronomer, you're going to notice that this object, the Andromeda Galaxy, it's going to get brighter and brighter and brighter and bigger and bigger and bigger in the sky until one day all of the stars on the Milky Way are going to crash right into it. When that happens, you're going to be about 4 billion years old. So that's going to be a lot of candles on your birthday cake. All right. Why does Saturn have rings? Can you also, you know what? This is actually a great question that I would love to answer next week. So one of the reasons why we're kind of curious, hey, how many of these virtual planetarium sessions have you actually seen? Or you keep on coming back, is that I would like to do an experiment next week. I would like to put all of you into charge. Tell me where to go. Right now, I'm kind of flying in the sky, talking about the things that I'm interested in. I would love to talk about what you're interested in. So I am going to put that, why does Saturn have rings? Why does Jupiter have rings? Why does Uranus have rings? Why does Neptune have rings? Why doesn't the Earth have any rings? Right on to our topic for next week, and start thinking about some things that you want us to explore next week, and we'll let you all drive and explore this all. So start thinking about this as you're doing your background astronomy, backyard astronomy this week. To help you become a backyard astronomer, there are some resources that we have that I want to be sharing with you. That is if you go to this wonderful website called it's our own website. I should know the address. It is paxi.org. And all you have to do is search for Curiosity at Home. Inside Curiosity at Home, we have a lot of great activities, all broken up by age group. And there are some activities that you could do at home that is going to actually help you become a backyard astronomer. One of them is, hey, I mentioned earlier that you are going to need a star map. Now, what is that? What does a star map do? A star map tells you what stars are going to be out in the sky, when they are going to be there, and where to find them in the sky. So we have an activity where you could actually make your own star finder. Basically, all you have to do is take our little cutouts, cut out the tiny little oval, and use those star finders to find objects up in the sky that you're interested in seeing. To give you some perspective of what that might look like, let's see if I can actually show you mine. All right, so here's my star finder, and it's great. I love it. It is fantastic. Basically, as you can see, we have these two big wheels that come together. One shows me some dates and times. One shows me all of the stars that are in the sky in specific days. And then one has the horizon, one has the stars. And I just go ahead and put those together. What I try to do is I match up the time with the date. That tells me which stars up in the sky. So if I spin this around to find out the time and date today, these are the stars that are coming out. So one challenge I have for you is go ahead and try to find out what stars were out on your birthday, okay? The next thing it does is that it shows you all the stars, but you're going to notice that, hey, north is down here and south is over here, and that's west, and it kind of looks backwards as a map. And that's because you're not supposed to be doing it like this. You're supposed to be doing it like this. The sky is up there, so use this as your map, and now north looks like it's on top. It's in the right direction. The tricky thing is that you see this black area right here? This is the horizon. So any stars that are near the black area are going to be low in the sky. Any stars near the center are going to be right above your head, right near the zenith. So friends, please use your star finders as backyard astronomers, okay? To really see those skies. Another cool little tool that you could also use is, well, any angle in the stars are really, really important. So you could actually use the stars to actually navigate. And this is a great way to find out what degrees, how high a star is up in the sky. It's a really quick, easy activity that you could do and make for yourself. And then, of course, we also have an activity where you can make your own sundial to help you track the motion of the stars, the motion of the sun, to help you track time. And so, backyard astronomer friends, as you go out tonight, please look for those meteorites. Look for those meteor showers. Look for those shooting stars coming off of Perseid in the northeast, about an hour, hour and a half after sunset, or wake up a little bit earlier and be out there with your coffee and watch them an hour before sunrise. That's when Venus is going to be out, and it is going to be out at its brightest this time this month. Over 60% of Venus is actually going to shine. It is the third brightest object in our sky, so definitely see Venus. To be a backyard astronomer, take with you, remember, you're going to need a red flashlight. Take out a jacket or a blanket to stay warm. Have a comfortable place to sit so you can really spend time and observe. Bring some water. Definitely bring some water. Bring some bug spray so they're not being chewed up. Bring your star finder or an app on your smartphone to help you find the constellations. Bring a science journal to record what you observe, particularly if you're going to be a backyard astronomer and go to the same place multiple times in a month or multiple times in a year. And then while you're out there, also bring some things that could tell you a little bit more stories about the nighttime sky. For example, like we noticed with Australia's Corona Australis and Corona Borealis, lots of different cultures have stories about the constellations. So use your local library or other resources online to find out about constellation stories from other cultures. This book I have, I'm not promoting it, but it has great stories about constellations from the Navajo nations. The Duwamish and the nations here have fantastic constellation stories. The Polynesians were fantastic storytellers and made up great constellation stories, like Maui's fishhook. The Hopi, the Lumni Nation, a little bit up north, out in India, China. Bring some resources to really learn about constellations and the different stories and how they relate to the science features that and the patterns in the skies. And then bring out your own curiosity and record your own questions and curiosity into a science journal. And then, like I said, next week, I am hoping that you could take over the driving for me. Tell me where to go. So be prepared next week, if you are one of those repeat visitors, to have an idea of where you want us to explore together, whether it's the rings of Saturn or the center of the Milky Way or anywhere else in the sky that you want to explore. I am happy to do that with you. As always, the more that you can help us and support us with our educational programming, that would be great. Visit packside.org to find our support feature so we can continue this program into the school year. My friend Zita has a fantastic survey that you can fill out to really give us more information about how we can support teachers and schools as they go all virtual this fall. And then, well, think about joining us. Think about becoming a member. We love our members, and thank you so much to our members who join us today. Let us know if you're a member. Really give us a big shout out for Packside, and think about joining us as we explore curiosity. Our center may be closed for safety reasons, but curiosity never closes. And we have a lot of great programs for members who sign up to help us explore right now. Just like I hope you explore tonight as a backyard astronomer and make that wish upon a shooting star. All right, everyone. With that, that was me and that was Zita. Say goodbye, Zita. And thank you so much for joining us for this virtual planetarium show. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Yeah.